On the internet, something genuinely surprising just happened. Even the noisiest sections of social media were silenced at this moment. Nobody anticipated what ferocious rapper and reality star Chrisean Rock, who is well known for her headline-grabbing mayhem, raw emotions, and tumultuous romance with Blueface, did. For the first time, she went live and shared her baby boy with the world. Fans have grown accustomed to her dramatic high-energy streams, but this one was different. Rather, it evolved into something unvarnished and really human. The same woman who was frequently depicted as erratic and careless suddenly showed a side of herself that few people knew existed. Emotional, serene, and sensitive. The live stream changed from spectacle to sentiment in a matter of minutes. Instead of anticipating another viral outburst, viewers were treated to a vulnerable moment that offered a look into Chrisean's new life as a mother. This was more than just a live video for someone whose every action has been scrutinized by the public. Everyone in attendance was reminded by this pivotal moment that even the most divisive personalities occasionally exhibit unadulterated humanity. Unexpectedly, Chrisean angled the camera and her baby boy appeared. In an instant, the conversation erupted, as thousands of followers responded in real time. The screen was filled with heart-shaped images, sobbing expressions, and astonished emojis. Some expressed concern, some were overcome with affection, and some wondered if it was the proper decision to share her son so widely. However, what really ignited the internet was what followed when Chrisean carried Fat Men. The story was totally turned around by her elegance, her raw passion, and the fierce manner she faced her detractors. What many thought would be a tender, heartfelt disclosure became something far more potent. Only someone like Chrisean Rock could put on such a raw, surprising show. She opened her heart not just to introduce her son. It should come as no surprise to anyone who has followed her narrative that this moment was so intense. Chrisean made it apparent the moment she came into the public eye that she would never be the type of famous person who hid behind pretentious press releases or private gates. She's unabashed, loud, and unfilteredly human. And for that very reason, people are unable to turn away. She has become one of the most polarizing individuals on the internet as a result of every breakdown, fight, and heartfelt confession being witnessed by millions of people. Her tumultuous relationship with Blueface turned into an endless public drama that alternated between love and devastation. Often in the space of a few hours, their romance went beyond simple privacy violations. Living your chaos in real time was redefined by it. Therefore, at first, not many people took Chrisean seriously when she revealed she was pregnant. Social media was engulfed in a flurry of conjecture as Blueface openly questioned his paternity. She wasn't prepared for motherhood, according to critics. Others, however, thought it would be the beginning of her story of redemption. But one aspect of Chrisean remained constant despite all the taunts, gossip, and press coverage: her blaze. She stood up for her child, furiously vowing to provide him with an upbringing that was far superior to her own. The drama persisted even after she gave birth to her kid. It just changed. Videos of her acclimating to parenting went viral. Resilience, emotional outbursts, sleepless nights, and periods of tiredness are all evident. Fans engaged in unending arguments. Could she take the strain? Was she able to raise a child under the observation of others all the time? This is the reason this live stream was so explosive. For the first time, Chrisean took charge of her tale rather than letting others do it. She not only showed the world her baby, but also reminded everyone that despite the commotion, debate, and criticism, a woman continues to write her own story in real time. The internet waited impatiently for months for Chrisean Rock to finally introduce her son. She had hinted, never his face, but the corner of a baby blanket here, a glimpse of a small hand there. She seemed to be torn between two different universes: the public's inability to ignore the unbridled, impetuous food, and the more tender, passionately protective mother she was gradually becoming. Therefore, none anticipated a moment that would change their lives when that live stream notification showed up. Fans watched in anticipation of yet another riotous outburst. Perhaps a retort to Blue, perhaps a vehement response to trolls. However, they received something very different. Chrisean raised her son into sight with a single flip of the camera, and everything changed in that moment. It was more than a simple baby reveal. It was a proclamation. Her son was more than simply her kid. He was a live example of all she had managed to survive. The pain of an unhappy upbringing, the heartache of a romantic tale that unfolded like a slow-motion vehicle accident, the incessant din of millions of strangers passing judgment. She never broke down in the face of it all. Additionally, she now had someone to stand for. This is Chrisean Rock, though. Peace on the internet is short-lived. The internet went crazy as soon as her baby's face appeared on TV. Love comments, heart-shaped emoticons, and heartfelt messages flooded in. Some referred to it as her most vulnerable and sincere moment of her career. However, the reaction followed the appreciation. Critics charged her with using parenthood as just another viral gimmick and abusing her child for publicity. The live stream, which was supposed to be a straightforward, emotional moment, became a virtual battlefield where each frame was analyzed and discussed. Nevertheless, one reality was visible through all the cacophony. Chrisean wasn't performing, fighting, or defending for the first time. She was merely being a mother and showcasing her greatest accomplishment to the world. When trolls deluged Chrisean Rock's livestream, she didn't hold back. Her remarks were sharp, yet her voice wavered. "Whatever you think of me, this is my baby, my son, and he will know his mother. I'm not keeping him a secret. He will know that I stood up for him." Social media was rocked by her unvarnished confession, which some fans hailed as her most candid moment to date and others saw as a window into her suffering. As nasty comments came in, accusing her of pursuing power and casting doubt on her suitability as a mother. What started out as a gentle emotional stream of her holding her child a softer side, many had not seen quickly descended into turmoil. She first made an effort to remain composed. However, she soon regained the fire for which she is known. She snapped back, leaning into the camera while still holding her child. "Y'all, weird as hell, talking about a baby who ain't done nothing to nobody. Clown me all day, but don't ever come for him." The chat erupted, with trolls doubling down and supporters cheering. Just when it got too intense, a message from what appeared to be a verified Blueface account appeared in the feed. "Keep my son from being raised by the world." What should have been a tender mother-son moment quickly became one of the year's most explosive live streams as the internet went crazy. Before she even spoke, Kind's face conveyed everything. Her jaw tightened, her eyes narrowed as she focused on the remark, and then she laughed sharply and bitterly. The kind with more anger than happiness. She responded, "Oh, now you care," and shook her head. "When I pushed him out, you weren't present." The internet exploded at once. "You can type from your phone, but you weren't there when I was up feeding him at 3 in the morning. Man, miss me with that." Videos of that incident were widely shared on TikTok and Twitter in a matter of minutes. Trending lists are exploding with hashtags like #CarIsEonLive, #BlowfaceComment, and #GuardThatBaby. Some viewers insisted that the comment was actually from Blueface. Some argued that it must be a fake. Whether it was genuine or not, the tension was too intense and too well-timed to be ignored. Chrisean started to feel overwhelmed by emotion as the livestream went on. Her eyes glistened with tears as she glanced. "Y'all think I'm messy. Maybe I am, but this little boy right here, he's the reason I get up every day. He's the reason I ain't giving up." Spoke softly into the camera. For a brief moment, the chaos subsided before the next wave struck. Social media began to circulate screenshots purportedly from Blueface's camp, stating that he intended to request custody of their son due to worries about Chrisean parenting. Fans flocked back to the live chat, bringing shock and conjecture as the rumors spread like wildfire. Chrisean's face hardened as the gravity of it all hit in as she read the comments in real time. She then inhaled deeply, spoke steadily, stared directly into the camera, and uttered the words that shut down the internet. "No one is taking my son, is there? Not the trolls, not the courts, nor no one. Over my lifeless body. Chrisean Rock turned a straightforward live stream into a cultural hotspot with only one remark. People came together to support her, lauding her strength and referring to her as a mama bear. YouTubers started posting hour-long analysis within minutes. Twitter exploded with argument threads. And TikTok was flooded with dramatic edits of Chrisean hugging her baby to sad music. All while detractors said her tantrum demonstrated why Blueface should have custody. The public struggle for respect, motherhood, and possibly even custody had grown out of what had begun as a loving introduction of her kid. And it was felt by everyone in the audience. This was only the start. As the live stream went on, things took yet another crazy turn, trending on all platforms. Videos of Chrisean defending herself while clutching her infant went viral on social media following her scathing retort. Her bravery was praised by some fans. Some wondered if she was too erratic emotionally to stream at all. Then, unexpectedly, Blueface himself joined the conversation on Twitter rather than live. 3 words. She's not prepared. Like a grenade, those words exploded all over the internet. The tweet received millions of impressions and thousands of vehement responses in a matter of minutes. Supporters of Chrisean came out strong. Nor were you prepared. You abandoned her when she most needed you. Others, on the other hand, supported Blueface, saying that someone had to stand up for the child. Officially, their connection was no longer the center of the quarrel. Now, millions of people watched as a public conflict was waged in real time. Then the tipping point arrived. Chrisean herself viewed the tweet while she was still alive. As she read it out loud, her face stiffened and her voice became angry. Not prepared. When I told you I was pregnant, you weren't prepared to become a father. I gave birth by myself, and you weren't prepared. I'm sure you're not prepared to pass judgment on me just yet. The conversation erupted. Fans yelling, turmoil, and fire emojis. The instant was electric, but there was yet more shock to come. During his tirade, screenshots purportedly taken by someone in Blueface's inner circle started to appear on Instagram. The posts seemed to display correspondence between Blueface and his attorney outlining their intentions to pursue full custody of their baby. Complete, not partial, not shared. The pictures went viral in a matter of minutes. Everywhere on social media, headlines were created. Chrisean's sincere live feed quickly evolved into one of the year's most intense public confrontations. There were rumors that Blueface was getting ready to file a lawsuit. According to insiders, his team has already contacted attorneys to start a custody dispute over his son with Chrisean Rock. Chrisean was still alive at the time of the announcement. She gripped her kid closely and looked directly into the camera, her face changing from one of astonishment to one of stealth. Her voice quivered with rage as she declared, "They will never take him from me. Whatever Blueface says, I don't care. What his lawyers say about my corpse doesn't matter to me." The internet exploded in a matter of minutes. Timelines were overflowing with hashtag protection and hashtag stand with Ian sentiments from supporters. What started as a live stream revelation turned into a public custody battle that was unfolding in real time when detractors retaliated with the hashtags #TeamBLEFace and #HaveThem. Then something unexpected happened. A blurry video purportedly showing Blueface at a recent party, smiling with guests and stating, "I ain't raising no kid." That's her job was posted on a gossip blog like wildfire. The video went viral. Skeptics said the video was manipulated for clicks, while fans accused him of hypocrisy, saying he didn't really want custody and was only using the legal system to harm Chrisean. However, the harm had already been done. In the perspective of a large portion of the public, Blueface changed from a worried parent to a domineering ex overnight. Even the music business started to comment as the drama dominated the internet. Cardi B liked a fan post defending Chrisean, and Nicki Minaj became a meme thanks to her fan base. Summer Walker tweeted, "Motherhood ain't easy when the world's watching. Respect to all the real moms out there." strong mother who stands her ground against both lawyers and trolls. An emotional live feed turned into a full-fledged cultural performance. Under the unrelenting spotlight of social media, love, devotion, and legal threats collide. Chrisean gazed directly at the camera before concluding her broadcast, leaving viewers with one terrifying promise. This is only the start. Do you guys think I'm crazy? Watch to see the lengths I will go to for my child. That video aired repeatedly on all platforms, giving people chills and inspiring defiance. And by dawn, her words had taken over the internet. What started out as a sweet mother-son interaction turned into a worldwide controversy. Was Chrisean demonstrating her intense devotion as a mother, or was she falling apart again under pressure? Twitter became a battleground. Supporters commended her tenacity. That woman loves her child, despite the fact that she is messy. It's evident in her eyes. Any mother who struggles like that deserves respect. Others made the opposite argument. This is anarchy, not love. Peace, not cameras, is what that infant needs. The disagreement turned into performance art on TikTok. Fans used dramatic music to remix her over "My Dead Corpse" moment, portraying her as a contemporary warrior who is crimpitioned, defiant, and prepared to take on the world. Critics used the viral video as evidence that Chrisean Rock was insane, viewing it as gasoline to a fire. YouTube experts quickly posted subtitles that said, "And this is why Blueface wants custody." Marathon Length analyzes titled "The Custody War Began." Chrisean Rock versus Blueface, and why Chrisean Rock livestream changed everything followed suit. Bombarded with celebrity reactions. Ruby Rose subtly liked a post defending Chrisean Rock maternal strength, while Tamar Braxton jumped into the comments, writing that being a mama ain't easy, sending her love. Meanwhile, Camp started circling the wagons. His relatives posted ambiguous Instagram stories that suggested he was only attempting to keep his youngster safe. Mainstream media then embraced the craze. The Shade Room described the story as messy, emotional, and real. While TMZ dominated headlines with Chrisean Rock defending parenting following an emotional livestream, CNN's entertainment desk even offered a commentary writing, "When reality TV meets reality." The Chrisean Rock livestream. However, the music industry itself was the source of the true shock. Record labels were reportedly nervous about whether Chrisean knew mother versus DHN. If you're using like a scanner app, and if you're using like a scanner app and it's like, you're gonna die. Like, look at this. And media persona will propel her career into unadulterated honesty or destroy it due to controversy. According to one insider, she's walking the line between legend and liability. The drama erupted in the streets of Los Angeles. When asked about Chrisean's tearful livestream, Blueface laughed and answered, "She always puts on a show. I'll handle this in court, not online." That one statement threw the internet into overdrive once more and fueled rumors that legal action was already underway. Blueface was cornered by paparazzi outside a nightclub. Supporters were divided between worry and sympathy. Some demanded the intervention of Child Protective Services. Others cautioned that the baby will suffer even more as a result. The mood was aptly conveyed in a tweet that went viral. This is no longer about Chrisean or Blueface. The story revolves around a baby who grows up in a circus. But despite the confusion, Chrisean followers redoubled their efforts. They used her quotes to fill timelines, referring to her as a mother who never gives up, a fighter, and a survivor. The internet was split. It was tense in the industry, and the media was unable to turn away. What started off as a straightforward live stream had developed into a hotspot for culture, an instance that made it difficult to distinguish between fame, survival, and parenthood. Chaos broke out online just hours after Chrisean's emotional live stream ended. Screenshots from a reputable legal source started making the rounds, claiming that the Blueface team had already submitted preliminary papers to request custody of their baby. Insiders swore everything was in motion, but the documents were not yet made public. In a matter of minutes, the same explosive headlines appeared on every gossip page. In response to Chrisean viral stream, Blueface requests custody. The internet went down. This would no longer be speculation if the rumors were accurate. It was the beginning of something genuine. However, the entire story was turned upside down by another leak before anyone could catch their breath. An alleged phone recording was posted by a fan page of Chrisean conversing with a close companion. Her voice was defiant but trembling. "Do you think he'll kidnap my son? I have evidence." Evidence of his actions? "Let's go to court if you want to. I'm not afraid." A digital inferno was started by the single word proof. What sort of evidence? Fans kept speculating. Rumors of financial fraud, covert videos, and even previous occurrences that could undermine Blueface's defense. Twitter went into a tailspin. "Blueface is done if she actually has receipts," one user remarked. This custody dispute just went nuclear. What started out as heartache was now being presented as a full-fledged confrontation. Later that evening, Chrisean made a comeback on Instagram, sharing a subdued yet impactful image of her baby dozing with the words, "Protected always. No matter what I got to do." The message struck a deep chord. Her comments were filled with supporters who referred to her as a warrior mother who would stop at nothing to protect her child. Blueface then responded on Twitter with a mocking remark, seemingly in response to Q acknowledgements. "Funny, I also received receipts." The strain suddenly reached a breaking point. Dirt was being claimed by both sides. Exposure was a concern for both. A baby who had become the focus of a viral custody dispute was caught in the middle. It was now more significant than the commotion surrounding celebrities, motherhood, privacy, and the extent to which the internet will go when everyday life becomes a public spectacle were the topics of discussion. There was division among the fans. One viral tweet brilliantly captured the industry's attention, and the media was already planning the next headline. Kinney set up a custody battle rather than simply going live. The receipts are also on the way. The truth is coming, and when it does, it will undoubtedly cause the internet to collapse once more. The real struggle is just getting started, even though the live stream is over. A woman proudly exposing her son to the world started out as a touching moment, but it quickly turned into one of the most dramatic, erratic, and attention-grabbing stories social media has ever seen. Chrisean Rock shared more than just her child. Her soul was buried. Her anguish, tenacity, and the unwavering love of a mother were all visible to the audience. She might have created the conditions for one of the most significant celebrity custody disputes of the year by doing this. The million-dollar question still exists, though. What follows? Is Blueface actually pursuing legal action? Or is this just another attention-grabbing ploy? What about Chrisean? Does she actually possess the evidence she alluded to? Might she be clinging to something that might completely append this tale? Perhaps this is Chrisean's journey of redemption. It's an opportunity to demonstrate that she is more than the she was surrounded by turmoil. Or it can be the beginning of a more sinister chapter in which a child finds himself ensnared in a storm that he did not cause. The internet is split. Some people support the parent who doesn't fold by sticking to #Team Cuisine. Some support #Trembleface, arguing that the infant needs order and tranquility, even if it involves the legal system. And #Team Baby comes next. Those who merely hope that innocence is not obscured by the commotion. What do you think then? Is Chrisean going to change the course of events and surprise everyone? There is no doubt about that. The truth won't be revealed when the receipts are ultimately dropped. The whole story will be rewritten. This is not the conclusion, it's the prelude to a far larger event. Because nothing and no one will ever be the same after the truth comes to light.